Welcome back to the news at 10. The 4 clans that make up Ogbea community in Ogbea local government area of Bayelsa State have declared their support for the aspirations of the All Progressives Congress and its candidate, Mr. Pt.3 Sylva. The clan chiefs gave their endorsement when Mr. Sylva and his campaign team were received in the Ogbea Brotherhood House. Mr. Sylva promised the people that if he's returned for a second term, he will conclude the projects he started and initiate new ones. Our correspondent, Amaka Okafo, has a report.
The Sylva Campaign team was met with a rousing welcome by his supporters in Ogbea local government as he arrived for his campaign rally. But first, he stopped at the Ogbea Brotherhood Hall, the ancestral meeting place of the Ogbea people, where he sought the support of the Ogbea leaders for his aspirations to run as a governor of Bayelsa State.
All the projects that we have not completed, not because we didn't want to complete them, but because of time. The water scheme to tackle it is one of our first priorities, so that the community, including Ogbea town, will begin to benefit from it. The Royal Road will also be one of the priorities of my government for us to complete, so that Ogbea land will be connected. And then we must begin to consider our link to Yenagoa. Because even if you do the best roads, if you are not properly linked to Yenagoa, then it becomes very tortuous to come to the good road. I only need one thing from you, and that is your vote. I need 100% of your vote.
The Ogbea elders first decorated him with their traditional regalia. Before making their position known on his request for their endorsement.
The entire Ogbea kingdom is solidly behind you. We want to assure you that the 4 clans in Ogbea is united in assuring us we give you 100% support.
The campaign train then moved to the campaign arena, where Mr. Sylva garnered ovation from his teaming supporters.
Are you ready for the change? Ogbea people, are you ready for the change?
The campaign train also went to other communities, including Otuagbla, Otuagbagi, and Kolo communities, all in Ogbea local government area. Amaka Okafo, Channels Television News.
Staying in Bayelsa State, Governor Sylva Dickson, flag bearer of the People's Democratic Party in the December 5th governorship polls, has rounded off his tour of communities across the state with a rally in Nembe. The entire Nembe town was in total lockdown as the crowd of people gathered to witness the state governor reaffirm his commitment to make Bayelsa better if voted again.
Traditional rulers and people of several Nembe communities in a jubilant mood, surging in droves to catch a sight of Governor Sylva Dickson as he arrives in town. Governor Dickson first pays a visit to the Nembe Basambiri Council of Chiefs, where he got fatherly blessings from the fathers of the land. The campaign ground had a carnival-like atmosphere as the people defied the rain to show their support for the re-election of the governor. Here, the director of media and publicity of the re-elect Dickson Jonah Ticket said the turnout is an expression of gratitude.
The people said Dickson has given them hope. Dickson has made it possible for them to drive to Nembe. Dickson has given them a savior. Dickson has built more than 40 schools here in Nembe.
Others also show support for the man they believe has impacted on governance in the state.
We don't come with borrowed crowd. It is the real people and the local government that have mobilized that will come out on December 5 to vote for Henry Seraki Dickson.
Nembe Basami will give PDP 85%.
And if we don't keep it 85%, come and talk to me again.
Governor Dickson, who was visibly overwhelmed with joy, expressed gratitude to Nembe people for demonstrating remarkable support for his administration.
Bayelsa is only PDP. That's the message. I'm very delighted with the massive turnout in spite of the rain. The people, the chiefs and the leaders of the people, youth leaders, women leaders, everybody turned out. In fact, Nembe has been on lockdown since morning. And I can only say thank you to all of us. The message in this is that APC has no space in Bayelsa State. The elections have already been decided. On the outcome of the community engagements that I've been engaging in, there's no doubt that we have won the election. We're just waiting for the formality of the voting.
The governor also used the opportunity to inaugurate the state-owned Izonibe Microfinance Bank, which the state says it's using to stimulate the growth of small and medium-scale enterprises.
Indigents of Ifeko Island communities in Esako Central Local Government Area of Edo State who were displaced during a communal clash with neighboring Anegbete community in 2001 are appealing to the state government to fast-track the ongoing peace process to enable them return to their homes. The people, who are predominantly farmers, have continued to seek refuge in other communities 14 years after the communal violence. This report takes a look at the plight of these communities.
It's a small area of one end of Ifeko Island surrounded by River Aika and River Niger. On this island are 12 communities. 6 fall under Eastern Southeast Local Government Area, and the other 6 make their home in Esako Central Local Government Area, both in Edo State. In 2001, 6 communities on this island were sacked in a bloody communal war between them and their Anegbete neighbors. The subject of dispute was ownership of land. It's 14 years after that devastating fight. We pay a visit to this island. On arrival, we'll come across some of the persons displaced during that conflict, now taking refuge in Adagu, Efoja.
The result one, our present one now, when we burn our house, we destroy everything, killing our people, even my younger brother, everything, they kill. So when the time work on, when they show Shomole will be governor. So we're very happy that if he don't come with governor now, all of us will be happy. So we don't know what we don't do, because we don't get money, because we don't get people for government. We are just suffering.
The traditional ruler of this once peaceful island is Chief Peter Enongo, the Okako of Ifeko, whose palace was burnt down during the crisis. He had no option but to take refuge in one of the communities in his kingdom. The state government had, in the wake of the crisis, set up the Peace and Reconciliation Committee with a mandate to look into the remote and immediate causes of the crisis. Chief Obasugi is the current chairman of that committee.
Over the years, nothing happened, no implementation. The community did not even push forward to see that such recommendation from government was implemented. I think I blame it on those who were the beneficiaries of such recommendations. All they need to do was to take extract of such recommendation and head straight to the court of law.
The years roll on, but the yearnings for a return to their roots still burn in these people's hearts. Thus, they seek assurance from relevant authorities that peace can be restored in their homeland.
The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, has refuted reports making the rounds that the association is responsible for the scarcity of the petroleum products around the country. And this is according to the national president of IPMAN, Obasi Lawson, during a visit to some tank farms and petrol stations in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. On the other hand, some tanker drivers are lamenting the hardship they face while trying to lift fuel from the depot. Our correspondent, Emmanuel Erei, reports.
A long stretch of tankers on either side of the road with no seeming end in sight, all waiting to lift premium motor spirit from Masters Energy Depot in Iwafe in Rivers State. National officers and members of the IPMAN are here to see things for themselves at the depot, which according to them has been trucking out product at government-approved price. The national president of the association then gives an insight to journalists on ending the scarcity.
Our concern, our own, we don't have tank farms. So where our source of getting products is from the tank farms. So by the time we get the product, we must dispense it to the members. We must put it in our section and dispense it to the members of the public. So we cannot hoard. If you get to the stations that are selling, it must see is the stations that have products. If you get the stations that are not selling, they don't have any product.
He also debunks reports that their members are making the situation even worse.
These scarcities, this non-availability of products, this, if you get to some station, you will find out that some stations are dry. To solve it is to decongest Lagos by sending some products to all these coastal depots. When you buy a product from Lagos to the north, you buy a product from Port Harcourt to the north, or you buy from Lagos to this place, government is refunding you the price, the transport fare. So you need to sell at the approved price in any part of the country, anywhere you get to. But the issue is that getting it in those areas in Lagos, you can agree with me, if you get to the place, you'll find out some vehicles has been there for the past 2 months. And some people, to load a truck of the products, a lot of things will go under.
While that was going on, some tanker drivers are lamenting what they describe as untold hardship they are currently facing.
We are suffering because sometimes the loading here is not moving so fast. We don't know what is draining it. So we look at me, I'm so dirty. I have been here for 2 weeks plus. Some people are here from 2 months. Some people are 1 month and pursuing the product.
I've been coming all the way from my station every day. I come at the end of the day. Even my truck is still at back. Even if they give me the ticket now to load, I can't even load it now.
The challenge we had some 2 weeks ago was the road, and Masters Energy has been doing everything possible to make that road motorable. And as you can see, they are loading and also trucking out. So that challenge is no longer there.
After all said and done, Nigerians just hope to see an end to the current fuel scarcity as soon as possible. Emmanuel Ireid, Channels Television News.
Well, let's take a look at the day's business news now with Adeshawa Josh.
Good evening. Welcome to Business News. I am Adeshawa Josh. Stock market investors with multiple accounts have been advised to choose one stockbroking firm which would be in custody of their accounts. This advice is coming from the General Manager in charge of operations at the Central Securities Clearance System, Mr. Joe Mekilua. According to him, the aim of this exercise is to ensure smooth transition to e-dividend payment system, which would allow investors receive their benefits on time. The all-share index declined by 1.83% at the Nigerian equities market this week, extending the month-to-date and year-to-date losses to 5.35% and 20.31% respectively. For the week just ended, 1.04 billion shares worth 13 billion naira and 13,407 deals were traded. 21 equities appreciated in price, higher than 19 equities of the preceding week. Ikeja Hotel gained the most in terms of percentage change at 12.27%. It was followed by Unilever with 9.68% and Captain by 9.28%. Meanwhile, 41 equities depreciated in price, same as the number of equities that declined in the previous week. Tiger Brand Consumer Goods PLC topped with 17.65%. Unity Bank dropped 11.3% and May & Baker shed 10.48%. Next week, interbank rates are expected to close lower at moderate levels, with October budgetary allocation and NNLG dividend pending. Eventual disbursement could be the high point of the market. Rates fell sharply this week, impacted by buoyant system liquidity and a dovish MPC decision. Analysts at Codros Capital say the market opened with a credit balance of 708 billion naira on Monday, and as of Friday, the balance stood at 572 billion naira. The Nigeria Interbank Offer Rate crashed by 213 basis points on average to 8.25% after the 1-month, 3-month, and 6-month rates fell by over 260 BPS each week on week. Well, the bulls dominated the Treasury bills market this week, with average yield declining by 207 basis points to close the week at 2.43%. The high point of the week was Tuesday's monetary pronouncement, confirming investors' predictions that the CBN will take the monetary easing path in order to support economic growth. The easing announcement served as a catalyst for further gains in the remaining sessions of the week. And in addition, a 162 billion naira OMO maturity hit the system on Thursday. This bolstered the already robust liquidity levels, thereby supporting further investor appetite for bills. While the market remains supportive for more yield contraction, analysts expect to see some profit-taking next week, given the magnitude of gains the market has recorded in November. To the bonds market now, where the market traded and closed the week with the banking system awash with liquidity amidst expectation of further stimulus through OMO bills. The MPC decisions to slash its key rate caused average yield to crash by 182 basis points, and this increased only marginally in Friday's session, driven by profit-taking. For the week, average yield contracted by 214 basis points to 9.58%. And yields fell across the curve, with demand unsurprisingly aggressive at the short end. The August 2016 to May 2018 notes recorded 311 basis average yield compression. Now, crude oil futures ended sharply lower on Friday as the US dollar index hit a fresh 8-month high, adding more pressure to an already oversupplied bearish market. This strengthens the greenback, which makes oil more expensive for holders of other currencies. This in addition to the negative sentiment that kicked off earlier in the day due to disappointing Chinese economic data. Brent crude was down 59 cents to $44.87 per barrel after settling down 71 cents at $45.46 in the previous session. And that's business news this hour. The news at 10 continues in a moment. I am Adeshowa Josh.
Next on the news at 10, Andy Murray and his brother Jamie beat Belgium duo David Goffin and Steve Darcis to push Britain closer to first Davis Cup triumph in 79 years. That's on Sports News. Please stay with us.